The Super Bowl 59 prop bets Kansas City Chiefs edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Go to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
What's up, guys? This is Carson Steele. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
The Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan. Real money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Hello, Sean. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I was
what's going on over there?
I was noticing that. Yeah. So it almost as if something has changed with your camera. Color.
What'd you do to it?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to. Early suspects are the cleaning people.
They do like to mess.
Although we did a show yesterday, so I just didn't notice it. I don't know. Very
well, Ryan.
Ghost in the machine. I don't know.
We'll throw someone under the bus, but we're here talking about props. Some of the props on how to fade the Kansas City Chiefs.
Look at that avatar. It's a same game parlay.
Yes. Shout out to the chat. Christopher checking in. He likes Justin Watson first touchdown. We'll be giving our first touchdown plays on Thursday's show with the laddie daddy himself, CJ Sullivan. We'll talk leaders, ladders, first touchdown, DGen parlays on that one. Tomorrow's show is the exotic, the weird, the wacky, the funny, the coin toss, the Gatorade, the anthem, and of course,
and our exact square predictions.
Okay,
our official squares plays.
Everyone's checking in. Welcome to UAB. Unfortunately for him, as a Chiefs fan, so RIP.
Really,
I'm wearing all black for the Chiefs funeral. Ryan.
Oh, you're going
Sunday.
To a funeral. The Giants. I remember when the 2007-2008 Giants wore all black, going to a funeral.
Where did they wear all black to? What
the
game?
Super Bowl?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then
they defeated Tom Brady and the undefeated Patriots.
That was a great nobody believes in us run there by the
all-time moment was when at media day when they asked when they said to Tom Brady that Plaxico predicted the Giants were going to win 24-21 or something like that, and Tom Brady said, "We're only going to score 21 points." I'll never forget that moment. Just imprinted in my brain.
Yeah. And couple of takeaways from media day. There's always some fun stuff, some interesting stuff kicking around. For me, I think this. And now, Ryan, maybe I'm overthinking this too much, but there has been so much talk, so much chatter. The NFL Referee Association said, "Hey, everyone say we're for the Chiefs. It's not that at all." There was someone on media day that asked Patrick Mahomes who his favorite ref was. You got Roger Goodell,
Showtime Mahomes,
AKA our commissioner, saying there's nothing to see here. Blah blah blah. That there is so much going on. These refs have taken so much criticism about how they favor the Chiefs, and it has been 12 playoff games in a row where the other team has gotten more penalties than the Chiefs. Certainly, there's some questionable calls, but also the Chiefs are good. They're a well-coached, for the most part, disciplined team. I guess it makes sense, and the Chiefs have that aura where maybe it gets in their head a little bit. There's maybe some reasoning. That many in a row does sound a little crazy, but I think it's gotten to the point now where it's such a talking point. The NFL is going out of their way to say, "Hey, we're not rigging it for the Chiefs. It's no Chiefs show." That almost the Eagles are going to be the team benefiting from the referees come Sunday.
I saw Joe Dolan throw this out, tweeting the Tom Pelissero report that essentially where he's quoting director of officials Scott Green.
Yeah.
Quote, it is insulting and preposterous to hear conspiracy theories that somehow 17 officiating crews consisting of 138 officials are colluding to assist one team. This sounds like the people who are like, really? If 9/11 was an inside job, think about all those people that didn't keep that secret. 138 people, really? I see your point.
Yeah.
Now, our guy, NFL Ref Stats 1 did point out that the Bills had a ref advantage last game, and that didn't seem to help them.
No,
so,
but also, also to that point, you got to get that
it won't matter. Like it won't matter because they won't call penalties, just like they never do. And hopefully, it's not a well placed holding call against James Bradbury again.
And that was, and going back to that game, that the painful memory that you brought up there, Ryan.
Yeah.
My beef with the call then, and is my beef with the call now, is that they put away the whistle for the majority of the game. Like rewatching the game, I'm like, okay, there's some contact there.
Agreed.
They're on both sides. Like and that's how people want it. No one wants these ticky tacky calls in the game. I speak for the NFL fans. We don't want those ticky tacky calls. And he did hold him, but also you can call holding on a lot of calls. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the media availability though?
Media day. Yeah.
We in the years that we went to the Super Bowl, we did not attend the media availability of the players. Now, that being said, it's very easy to consume all that content. And this is not meant to, you're going to get defensive, I assume, with my comments here, but it just happens to be your team in the Super Bowl. What the fuck did they make them do? There's a handshake line. They're fucking like the Backstreet Boys walking out of the stage. They're doing a light show. That was new. The spectacle's gone too far. This isn't the fucking Grammys. We don't need
old
them
guy
to walk.
yells at cloud.
Come on, Sean. I'm sure you watched a lot of this, and some of it you had to cringe a little bit. Like, yeah, I mean, this is unnecessary. Why are they doing this?
I agree. The media day is unnecessary.
No, but it's never been like this before. They've never walked out to a light show. They've never been walking out and handshaking the other team on a stage. And what the fuck is going on? I can't be the only one that feels this way. And again, this just happens to be what the NFL's up to. But why?
I literally had no emotional reaction to the media day.
The handshake line?
I didn't. You
must have not seen
video.
it. Okay. You didn't.
I saw them walk out on stage, and yeah, I even as a diehard fan, I don't watch media day. I see the couple clips that get.
I'm
traction.
not saying you watched it. I'm just saying you certainly probably are consuming a lot of content right now, and I was just shocked to see what they're making the Eagles and Chiefs do. It's like. It almost has hey, we need to make sure we frame up a lot of stuff that's going to look good on social. It just doesn't make any sense. Have the players show up at a podium and talk to people. That's the part everyone cares about, right? Like we need a Jameis Winston to take over media day, and just crush. That was awesome.
Yeah,
we don't need an intro fucking red carpet. We don't need a fucking commemorative handshake line on a stage.
So yeah,
again, you're getting defensive.
No, I'm not defensive at all.
You can't defend the NFL.
I'm not defending any of it. I'm just saying none of that came across my radar. Okay. And I follow literally all the Eagles accounts.
I consume all of I consume all the content, and it just struck me as very odd.
Okay.
Very odd.
Yeah, I mean it's media day. There was some,
also if you're going to be in a way. If by wearing white, are the Eagles signaling that they're the good guys in this battle against evil?
I didn't think of it that way.
Okay. Then why white? You're not your team colors at all.
Yeah, no, white's a part of their.
The stylist over at the NFL said white's really going to work.
I have no opinion on their outfits. I know you're
back. All right,
you're turning into.
I'm not angry.
Joan Rivers over here with your red carpet critiques of their outfits.
I feel bad for the players. I feel bad for the team.
It's a silly.
Andy Reid's being thrown around like a fucking object up there.
The best all time media day is Alshon Jeffrey. Go watch that clip. He's just like, nah, I think this is all bullshit. We could have stayed in Philly. Yeah, we don't need to be here.
Yeah.
This is silly. I'm a grown man, and that was his take.
I think that so many of the players do media week when they're not in the Super Bowl. I kind of like that idea. Why the fuck are you going to drag the teams playing in the game through this bullshit?
Cause yeah, it's a spectacle. It's a 2 week.
They're not objects, John.
Okay. I'm just telling you, the NFL likes a hype machine,
but this is new. The lights and the it's all new. It's
they're creating more stuff for people to share.
Please, reach out. I was very shocked that Sean's disagreeing me on this.
No, I'm not disagreeing at all.
Please reach out and let me know.
How am I disagreeing? I said I didn't see it.
It's really bad.
Yeah, if they got rid of media day, I would not miss it. I agree. I 100% agree.
No, but Jameis, don't get rid of the Jameis part of it.
Yeah, well, because media day is the ultimate edit, right? Like it's 9 hours of interviews, and there's like 20 seconds of stuff that's interesting.
But we don't need the handshake line.
Okay.
Leave that part out.
I did not see that. Okay. I'm sorry that upset you, Ryan.
It didn't upset me. It's just disgusting.
Oh no, clearly you're not upset.
I mean, this is, I think, how Colby must feel when he watches Dome football. I think I'm
it's so gross. Look at the handshake line.
It was, I mean, we can move.
One thing I did see was Alshon or AJ Brown. I don't know. There's obviously a bunch of sad stories coming out from the plane crash there in Philadelphia. And including this really inspiring story that I read about this kid. I think his name is Trevor. They were him and his family. The dad took him out for donuts. The plane crash exploded, and the kid covered up his sister to protect her. He got like a crazy piece of shrapnel hit into his head. He woke up. The first thing he said is, "Hey, is my sister is a sister all right?" And then she's gonna be okay. And like he put his body in front of her, saved her. Kid's a real hero. Shout out to him. And then he said, his next thing was he goes, "What day is it?" And they go, "It's Monday." And he goes, "Did I miss the Super Bowl?" And they go, "No, you didn't miss the Super Bowl. He plays Sunday." He goes, "Awesome." And Alshon Jeffrey quote tweeted that and said, "When I get back, I'm coming to visit with you, hopefully with some hardware." Shout out to you. So shout out to Trevor. And I hope I got his name right, but that was a super inspiring story. And
quote tweeted
the cool part about sports.
I don't mean to throw shade at AJ Brown, but this kind of quote tweet a little bit different when your avatar is the Joker.
Well, see, he just kept it the Joker.
Do we forget what the Joker did at hospitals? Literally, like blew them all up. He didn't do a lot of good. The Joker wasn't a positive character. Which, by the way, when did he go back to Joker?
I don't think he ever changed it back to.
It's
AJ.
A different Joker, though.
Yeah, he likes the Joker.
Got different Jokers.
Of all the things to kill AJ Brown for. Hey,
well, I can go back to the book.
Okay, the book's doing great numbers. He's helping authors move books. He's inspiring children. Goddamn hero.
They got to write him a check.
All right, we got some checks to cash here, and then we'll get to our props for the Kansas City Chiefs. Of course, shout out to DraftKings. This is the Super Bowl 59 LIX. Love the Super Bowl. It's awesome, and it's awesome that we're partnering up with DraftKings Sportsbook because they are the official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59, and we're allowed to say Super Bowl in these commercial reads because DraftKings is a part of Super Bowl 59. And shout out to the chat. Bronx Cobra pointed out in each of KC's 3 Super Bowl wins, a Chiefs player with a plus 500 or higher odds has scored. Patrick Mahomes in the 2020 Super Bowl, Sky Moore 8-1, Kadarius Toney plus 750, Mecole Hardman 13-1 last year. So there, maybe it's time to get down over at DraftKings Sportsbook and get down on those TD bets. Love the TD bets, and of course, new DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Everybody loves them. Some good bonus bets. If you haven't signed up with DraftKings, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SGP. That's code SGP. Sports Gambling Podcast. For new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Firing up the old Rhythm app and loving what Rhythm has got me going for some NFL props for the big game. Kramer, anything you like on Rhythm here?
Well, you know what? I should probably check in. Okay. I will say, Bubba.
Yes, your models.
Bubba's having a good playoffs, much like I am. Unrelated. Unrelated.
Let's see some of the TDs that they find interesting. Oh, actually, let's go.
Well, by the way, that trend that you were just mentioning.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of the ones that fits that model is in here. Don't they like? Did I not see a Noah Gray? No. Oh, they like Noah Gray. I always get thrown off when I see the 2 touchdown. It's like, no, use caution. Use caution.
Yeah. Well, in Rhythm, you can hit, of course, the 1 touchdown, the 2 touchdown, the 3 touchdown, the pass yards, the receiving yards. They have it all. I keep saying this, but Patrick Mahomes under 1.5 passing TDs at +126. Rhythm likes that. You know, I like that. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Kramer, kick it off. What do we got prop wise? What are we doing?
Well, we're giving out 15 props for Super Bowl. I mean, coming for the Chiefs here. So we start with, I assume, the same. Patrick Mahomes to throw an incomplete pass for his first attempt.
Co-signing it.
Plus, again, the fact that we're able, or I'm able to, you're not doing it. You said absolutely not. But the fact that Hurts was 215 and Mahomes is 210. I can't remember a year where they were both north of 2 to 1.
I don't remember. I feel like we play this every year, but I don't remember anyone being over 2 to 1.
We've definitely had some 2 to 1 prices in the past.
Okay,
like the
maybe
Tom
it was like Brady.
Yeah. But
at least not recently.
To have this combination is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, love it. It's a system play. The idea is similar, kind of going back to March Madness. Why we like first half unders. You're tense. It's the Super Bowl. You have the adrenaline pumping. They'll try and give them something easy, but they could easily mess that up. And you're getting a great price considering, the potential outcome. So +210 all day on Patty Mahomes' first pass incomplete. That one feels pretty good there. So good start there, and +210. Great start to the outcome there, Ryan. And I noticed it's first pass incomplete or interception. So if it's an interception on the first play, you do get paid out. And I will also add Patrick Mahomes.
I would say read the man. Like that's a check where you're playing, because I think some places would be offering this as a 3-way market as well. So.
Oh, okay. Because I saw Circa had first pass incomplete / interception.
Perfect. I think a lot of places offer this as a complete, either a complete incomplete, where to your point, the interceptions, or they offer the interception with some sort of juiced up price. So I would, just double check.
Keep an eye on it. And I am playing Patrick Mahomes to throw an interception.
Interesting.
+115. Well, if I liked Reed Blankenship to get an interception, I gotta.
Interesting.
I got it. Well, who knows? Maybe Juju throws an interception to Reed Blankenship.
That would be an all-timer.
Now, if you could parlay. This is too crazy.
Yeah, but, Mahomes no
same
interception.
Game parlay. Mahomes under a half interception parlayed with Reed Blankenship to get an interception.
Yeah, I mean
that's some degen shit.
The correlation engine might give you infinity.
I'm a degenerate.
Shout out to Adam Rosenberg, helped me with the write up here. He's had 9 turnover worthy plays in his last 9 games, including 5 in his last 6. 9 games ago, of course, is against the Buffalo Bills, where he had 2 interceptions last time they lost. He's had interceptions in 6 of its last 8 games and 10 over that span. So, or sorry, that's the Eagles defense has generated a ton of interceptions, 6 in its last 8 and 10 over that span. So, the Eagles are getting interceptions. And of course, the last time they played in 2023 in Arrowhead, Byard, the safety, no longer with us, not dead, but I mean on the team.
Rest in peace.
He intercepted Mahomes trying to get it to Kelce there in the end zone. I think I could see something similar there, trying to push it towards Kelce and Reed Blankenship. Maybe Cooper DeJean comes up with the pick. So and in general, I don't think he's going to be using the outside receivers as much. I think he's really going to try to get it done in the slot and the tight end. So I like the interception here. What are you laughing at?
He's really going to get it done in the slot and the tight end.
The slot. How's the slot?
It's Patrick Mahomes, right?
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
What happened to his brother? Speaking of what? Speaking of the slot and the tight end.
Guy's in like Guantanamo Bay. If you have any idea where Jackson Mahomes is, please hit us up at Gambling Podcast. Would love for Jackson Mahomes to surface here in Super Bowl week. Give a nice distraction.
Yeah, I think he picks the tight end before the slot. I'll say no score first. So again, this is another one. The ticket I have is no score for 6.5 minutes plus 110.
Cosign
paper. I do see some 6s out there with similar prices, maybe a minus 110. I think in general this game seems like we're gonna have a game where maybe there's a feeling out period, or the team to score first has a very long drive, and so both of those scenarios are likely to me. This
Tom Brady coming off with something corny. It's like 2 heavyweight fighters trying to figure themselves out. Tom, what's it like in a Super Bowl? And then Tom will just be like, the nerves are there, the adrenaline, but you got to just trust your routine. What got you there? The fact you don't eat strawberries.
What was
you
it
love
like?
Avocados. You have work done on your face and your hair.
What did it feel like when you dropped back into a clean pocket and launched the ball 50 yards down the field, getting called for intentional grounding in the end zone, resulting in a first score being a safety?
I mean, that was kind of crazy that they called him.
Care to comment? How much did you wager on that, Tom?
I mean, I was the second time they played, I was on the Patriots. I thought that was kind of crazy that they called,
but it was clearly intentional grounding. At the same time,
I don't know.
It was both clear. If you go back and watch the play,
I thought it was a miscommunication. But
if you go back and watch it, though, you realize there's no receiver there. But again, at the same time that I would say it's clearly intentional grounding, they never call that, and they never call that on Tom Brady, especially in a safe to start a Super Bowl and result in a safety. I do remember the reaction of the crowd when that happened. There was some first safety. That wasn't that weird stretch of safeties.
Safeties. When we were first starting out with the show, it was like, all the sharps on the
lay it
minus 1,200. I'm some nerd who I'm an actuary, and let me tell you that minus 1,200 is a great value for no safety, and they would just play no safety every year. And then there was that stretch where they kept getting killed because Seattle. Not only was the first score a safety, but safety happened. Then there was that Ravens 49ers game where there was a late safety where our buddy Decker ended up winning the squares pool because of it.
So there was in Super Bowl 46, the Giants Patriots first score safety. Yes, obviously safety in the game.
That was crazy.
Next year it was Baltimore San Francisco. There was a safety in the game. It was not the first. And then the following year, Seattle, Denver, the game you're talking about, another first score safety, completely destroyed that market. Before that, it was
like 100-1.
I'll never forget.
Have you seen the odds for this year?
The Giants Patriots second Super Bowl. I was in Las Vegas. It was somewhere in the realm of 40 or 50-1, Sean, or maybe even more. And so the price has come down big time. What was your question?
Oh, I was gonna say, do you know what the
first score safety?
Yeah, because I'm kind of curious to see maybe it's come back to a reasonable.
What's a reasonable price?
I think I need at least 50 to 1.
I want to say that's where it was before. Let's see if one of the. I feel like I haven't seen. I've seen safety. Yes, no. I've not seen first score safety.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll keep looking. What do you got here, Ryan? Oh, I'm seeing it on DraftKings Sportsbook, promo code SGP.
Oh, nice.
What do you think it's at?
I mean, like you said, it should be probably much north of 50 to 1. But if the first score is a defensive touchdown, has come down to that 30 they're willing to put it in the 25 to 35. I'll say 40 to 1.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Are you playing it at 40 to 1?
No, I'm never going to play first score safety ever.
All right.
In any game. In any game.
I'm trying to have fun, right?
No,
It's
I know, but that's crazy. I'd rather play a first score defensive player.
Okay.
And shoot the moon on a pick six or a sack fumble. All right. First, let's see. What do you want to do? First reception, since we're walking through the game.
Sure.
I stole one from you, and I curated one myself. But you mentioned the slot and the tight end. Give me Noah Gray at 10 to 1 for first reception for the Chiefs, and give me Juju Smith-Schuster at 14 to 1. Juju's clearly the guy in that role. Look at the snap counts. They wanted that to happen before he got hurt. I think specifically, again, I was thinking about this more. Juju kind of a dog. Need some dogs in this fight. I also think that they're gonna attack the middle of the field, and so yeah, both of those guys make sense to me. They're both 10 to 1 or more, 10 to 1 and 14 to 1. Absolutely love that. And the Noah Gray piece, I have to be very honest with everyone. We're gonna hear his name a bunch. And I'll continue after Sean says his piece on Noah Gray first reception. But Noah Gray I've seen a play in my dreams, at least in some form of subconscious, where I see Noah Gray running down the seam and catching almost think like back shouldery type touchdown, landing on his back, rolling over, standing up, and spiking the football. I don't know if it'll be the first reception, but
yeah, I like Noah Gray. I did the research. He had a game against the Carolina Panthers where he did have the first reception. Obviously, Kelce has been his go-to guy for the most part. Worthy's got in there, but Gray at 10 to 1 for Chiefs first reception, I think is worth a sprinkle there. There was also a game in the Bills game where he tried to get it to Noah Gray deep and ended up getting picked off. So
Noah Gray will be involved in this game plan. I'm very certain of that.
Okay. Yeah. I think what's his over under on catches? It's like a half, right?
A 1.5. And yeah. So I'm playing the over on catches 1.5. I'm playing the over on yards at 12.5. I firmly believe that we know Andy Reid. He's gonna zig.
Yeah.
When you think he's gonna zag, and he's gonna zag when you think he's gonna zig. And I think we're gonna see Kelce becomes a decoy. Juju, Noah Gray are my guys for this game. So and I'm playing the same thing for Juju. 1.5 receptions, 16.5 yards for Juju. But one of these guys. I mean, the great trend earlier about guy 5 to 1 or longer scoring a touchdown. Both those guys are longer than 5 to. Oh, let's just play the anytime too, Sean. Plus 550 for Noah Gray, plus 600 for Juju. What do we call this when you just play? I'm playing the nest. I'm playing the wheel.
The ladder.
The human wheel.
Yeah.
It's
the
scaffolding. I'm building a foundation.
Building a fort.
So yeah, I just vomited 6 props.
I wouldn't go as far as to say Travis Kelce will be a decoy, but I think I agree with your sentiment that
you won't see Travis Kelce over on my card.
Okay. Well, then let's go to my card where you will see Travis Kelce under 63.5 receiving yards.
I don't hate this.
I don't either. I think, there's a lot of talk about the Eagle. I think they're going to try and get it to Travis Kelce, but yeah, I like the Eagles matchup.
I actually believe that he doesn't care of having any success in the game as long as they win.
Yeah, no, they're trying to win.
I don't think Kelce cares if he could have one catch.
He's not a stat padding guy, and 63.5 receiving yards is really high. And to your point, I do think Noah Gray could get involved more. I do think they could try to get Pacheco, P. Ryan going out of the backfield. There was a stat I saw about Mahomes and how he leads. He's always one of the leader in the passing yards starting behind the line of scrimmage, targets behind the line of scrimmage, and no one ever busts Mahomes' chops for saying like, oh, he takes a lot of easy stuff behind the screen. And Andy Reid,
because he makes all the throws.
Yeah, no, and he's Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, he's really good. Andy Reid is a screen god, so they love running a ton of screens. But Kelce, not really like the guy you would run screens to. You might run it more towards Noah Gray. Noah Gray was eating into his red zone stuff as well. I do think they're going to get a little. I do think they try and work Xavier Worthy in the screen game, but that's kind of why I'm high on this Eagles team and the Eagles defense in general. They're a very good tackling team. Like they don't let up a lot of yards after the catch. They do rally around the football and do a great job of tackling. So shout out to the DGen doc himself, Sebastian, pointing out that Oren Burks, the linebacker filling in for Nolan Smith, didn't have a great game last time. He was in the Super Bowl because he was on the 49ers. They took advantage of him a little bit in the passing game. And I would just say, kind of in general, going back to the Eagles defense, whatever's going on with the system, they're getting the best out of all these guys. Like Zach Bond went from street free agent to defensive player of the year nominee. Nolan Smith went from, basically a bust to awesome guy leading the NFL in playoff sacks. Like whatever it is going on with this defense, they're really getting the most out of the guys. And it starts with the tackling. So long story, Travis Kelce under 63.5 receiving yards. I think this is going to go up as the week goes along. So you probably don't need to get it now, but I will be on his under receiving yards. Kramer, what do you do?
I think we see Xavier Worthy and Kelce lined up opposite of each other a lot. Like, so Kelce on the right side of the formation, Xavier Worthy on the left. And I would to me, just having those pieces, decoy or not, one side to stretch and one side to show that short stuff affect the middle of the field. You then have, in my version, Juju and Noah Gray maybe lining up on the other side of the formation. Very, very interesting, especially because we know that this Chiefs team is willing to dink and dunk. So I didn't flat out fade Kelce, and I do think Kelce around the end zone is always going to be an interesting target. But I mean, to your point, how much Andy Reid running a whole bunch of fake screens to Kelce, pop over to Noah Gray, pop over to Worthy, whatever that is, Kareem Hunt, P. Ryan. Love it. Patrick Mahomes over 5.5 rush attempts.
Now you got this at 5.5 because I've seen some 6.5s. Circa still has it.
Circa as of right now, 5.5 minus 125.
Okay.
So I believe you might not be on this prop directly because it's technically positive, but I think you're on this directionally and in the idea that the Eagles are going to generate pressure. Yeah. And Mahomes in a big game understands that pressure turning into a 4-yard, 5-yard scramble is worth it every time.
Showtime,
Mahomes. I like it. The only counter, if I was playing devil's advocate, is it's getting a lot of talk, and usually the props that get a lot of talk, a little worrisome. But I can't make a good case against it because in big games, Patrick Mahomes runs. That's a staple of our prop system. I was kicking myself for not playing his 2 touchdown in the AFC Championship game. It was right there. We should have been on it. I'll blame the audience as well. Audience, you should have reminded us because I say that all the time. One, when rookies in general, but guys making their first start, or veterans in big time spots, they're not afraid to run. So, and clearly, like they have design runs that they're running for them in the AFC Conference Championship game that they weren't running in the divisional round. They weren't running in the regular season. So there's a million ways this gets home.
I also think, back to the, having a Kelce and a Noah Gray and a Juju and all these kind of pieces to affect the mid, Worthy coming across the middle, all these pieces to kind of stress those linebackers that the Eagles have gotten the most out of. Certainly seems like moving Mahomes a little bit will help with that. So yeah, easy peasy. This is one of the ones that already paper ticket exists because we were out in Vegas last Friday.
Oh, in your pocket, Ryan?
It's an in pocket play. If you want to see what's in my pocket, reach out.
All right. So for me, I'm looking to fade Xavier Worthy. I think he's going to be seeing a lot of Quinyon, Mitchell, or Darius Slay, depending on where they move him around. The guys I'm worried about are the ancillary guys more than even Xavier Worthy, who's a rookie. He's in the Super Bowl. I'm looking to fade Xavier Worthy in a lot of different different ways.
Wow.
What do you mean? Why do you keep saying wow?
I'm just I'm adding to the.
Oh, okay.
I'm adding. It's Super Bowl season. Cool.
Xavier Worthy, it's gone up to 58.5 receiving yards, smashing that under.
Smash!
I think the Eagle, whatever cornerback's on him, I like their matchup, especially if they put Quinyon Mitchell, a big physical guy, against a wafy receiver like Xavier Worthy.
Wafy.
Yeah, he's kind of a He's a speedster.
Do you think once he gets his hands on him, that's over?
I think so. Yeah. Quinyon was in the MAC. The dude doesn't fuck around. Xavier Worthy under 58.5 receiving yards. And I'll also do Xavier Worthy under 68.5 rushing and receiving yards. Everyone keeps giving out Xavier Worthy over 4.5, 5.5 rushing yards. It's 5.5, 6.5, whatever it is, 6.5 plus 58.5.
Seems very, I will say I'm considering it feels like a very random price. It almost feels like the Samaje Perine receiving yards prop that everyone was giving out for the last 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
It just gets trendy. The right guy gives it out and everyone just tails.
Yeah. And I get it. He's been involved in the rushing game. It makes sense that Andy Reid would do it, but to your point, Ryan, Andy Reid with 2 weeks to think, he's going to get a little contrarian. He might zag. Oh, everyone's seen this.
He's the dude that's throwing the pass.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I mean, you want to talk about crazy. I don't think that's that crazy that he runs a jet sweep and then throws the football like
to Juju or Noah Gray deep.
If the gambling community is aware of this tendency, then I would say the Eagles defense, Eagles coaching staff is also aware of it.
And
Andy Reid is aware of it. So Andy Reid, it might be he is a guy who likes to set shit up and then do it differently. So all that being said, if you could find a Xavier Worthy to throw the ball, that's intriguing. The Eagles, I don't think Ryan, you'd have to. I don't remember anyone else besides Jalen Hurts throwing the football during the Jalen Hurts era.
That would be a tendency breaker.
No, certainly. And
Barkley doesn't throw, so it wouldn't be Barkley.
And I don't know if
AJ Brown.
No,
it would be Devonta Smith, right?
Kind of, but I don't know.
Dallas Goedert, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Like
a punter.
Yeah, maybe
it wouldn't be on the Eagles side. If we're transitioning to a little conversation.
If you're looking at the
number of players to throw a pass over under 2.5.
What is the price on that?
Let me try to find it.
Because I like the under 2.5 there. And one more I'll add on the Xavier Worthy fade. Devonta Smith is getting +5 receiving yards against Xavier Worthy in the head-to-head matchup, and it's +135. I love this. Again, I've been all over the Devonta Smith having a big game against the Chiefs. I think he gets there early. I think he gets there often. I love his over longest catch. I love his over receiving yards. I love his first 20. Play it all different ways, and I think he's going to be involved heavily in the game plan. And I like it's combining two of my angles from the game of riding Devonta Smith and fading Xavier Worthy. So and it's +135, and you're getting 5 receiving yards.
A couple people have reached out in the DMs to let me know that they have the script, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, these people are hilarious. The script has both teams winning.
What do you mean the script?
Teaser alert. Well, 2 different people, 2 different scripts, 2 different final results. Just letting you know. That price is. I mean, let me confirm that this is updated. But I'm seeing a +175 over 2.5.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
What?
Over 2.5 players with a pass +175, +180 currently. I'll play that. You know what? I left the spot up blank on the sheets. I knew I was going to be filling one in here. I'll take the over on pass attempts.
Really? You think the Chiefs do it?
I mean, as we're talking about the Eagles, they've it makes me think, why wouldn't you have a play? I wouldn't even consider it.
Well, and
but I will say, if it's Barkley, he's not a good thrower of the football. I've seen that before.
They're now.
Okay, so
I'm
total players with a pass attempt over 2.5 plus 180.
This is funny because now I'm remembering. I looked up the passing stats for this year. Saquon Barkley is listed under the passing stats. However, he didn't actually log an attempt. He did take a 2-yard sack. So it must have meant that he like put the ball up like he was gonna throw.
To pass, so it wasn't
just
a tackle.
and then he put it away. Now I don't know if they actually were going to have him throw the football, or it was just like a fake, like running a fake halfback pass to actually run it.
Let's see. Yeah, it was a pump fake. So he pump fakes to Devonta Smith before getting tackled.
And in 2023, Kenny Gainwell did attempt to pass, completed it for 17 yards, got a first down, no touchdown.
And Barkley did throw a pass in college.
Okay.
It's very he like jumps, like throws his legs in the air and throws the pass. It's not very pretty. But maybe they do it. That would be pretty him throwing a pass to Grant Calcaterra would make me aroused.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Over 2.5 players with a pass attempt.
Oh, so you're gonna add it?
Yep, officially added.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like the under, but I'm not gonna lay juice on it. Toss another one. Well, this one's one we've already talked about. I'm officially using it in the Chiefs because if I had to choose, I think the Chiefs return guy taking it out and not touching, not doing a touchback on the first kickoff.
Oh yeah,
I kind of like that. I mean, I like it both. I like it for the game.
Seriously, how much are we putting on this?
I don't know. See what our credit line is over at the
4-figure
shop. That would be pretty nice sweat.
I mean, imagine that the first kickoff, we got 1,000 to win 2,300.
Oh, that would be pretty awesome. Because the Eagles want them to return it.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta. I'm gonna have a sit down with Supboy to decide how. And he said the numbers backed it up. He was laughing at it, Ryan.
He thought it was a ridiculous number. He also loved the over 3.5 returns in the game. He had his model had 4.3.
So it's a smash play according to the kickoff model. Ryan, of course, we're gonna be heading over to. We're gonna be out there in Vegas Friday night, and I'm gonna be gallivanting around town with my Edge Boost card. That's right, it is the premier Visa debit card for bettors. You can use it on apps like the DraftKings Sportsbook, promo code SGP, or any DFS, the sweepstakes sites, casinos themselves. You don't want to do the cash advance or get hit with the ATM fee. Use the Edge Boost Visa debit card. You can get up to 7. And I mean, this is it makes it super easy. You're not going to get denied. You're not going to get whacked with the cashback fees, ATM fees. You can avoid a lot of that pain in the ass. FDIC insured. You don't run a credit check, free. But really, I love a good rewards program, and you're depositing to these sites, these places anyway. And then when you withdraw from one site, you can just add it back to your Edge Boost account and deposit on a new site, a new app, and you're earning rewards the entire time. Rewards are perfect for your long shot bets. It's just another way. Yeah, if you're really trying to beat the books, it's just another way to get a couple extra percentage points. Get those free bets however you can. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Help yourself out. Help us out. Appreciate everyone signing up. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. You get the instant tier 2 status, the better cash back reward. So you want to use our promo code. Toss us a bone. Speaking of bones, Underdog, those dogs will be barking come Sunday. Big game is obviously happening. You get the Travis Kelce free pick. I think it's higher a half receiving yard for new customers. And of course the site-wide no sweat entry token is live now. Basically whatever you enter in, if you don't win it, you get it back in free bets. So highly recommend it. Ryan, we've been giving out 1 entry per day as we build a epic Underdog fantasy entry. What is our entry today? We already
recap. Where are we at?
Mahomes higher 6.5 rushing attempts. Devontae Smith higher 15.5 receiving yards. What is What is something you like? Do you like the Noah Gray stuff?
I mean, obviously, I
don't know if I can get the 2 receptions with him. I like.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say there. All right, so I would. I mean, I think he probably gets the yards in one catch, and maybe you don't want to play a long shot touchdown.
No,
I mean, I'm fine doing Juju instead. You think that's a more likely?
So what do you got for Juju that you like?
It would be the receptions. Like the idea that he catches 2 passes in the Super Bowl, so like that seems.
Oh, it's higher 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That seems.
Can I interest you in Xavier Worthy lower receiving yards, or you're not on that model?
All right. Want to do the What we already have Mahomes.
Yes.
Rushing attempts. Damn. You don't like any of the good ones. Do they have? We can't do multiple Mahomes ones, right?
No.
Yeah, I would say if we're gonna fade someone, I think we fade
Kelce. Sounded like you were. You said you didn't hate it, Ryan.
I would prefer to. Yeah, I would prefer to fade Kelce.
All right, so lower Travis Kelce.
Well, I think Worthy could end up doing a lot of that. Well, what's the way to fade him?
Who?
Because maybe they. I mean, remember when they put out that half a passing yard for Aaron Rodgers, and he played like 4 snaps and didn't get a half a passing yard.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't happen to old Trav.
Well, then our lower would come through.
Yeah. I mean, would it be receptions, yards? No.
For Kelce, I'm fading the yards.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Travis Kelce lower 62.5 receiving yards. Get in over on Underdog. Use our promo code SGPN. Get you a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Bunch of boosts and no sweat tokens. UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN.
All right. So I've given out a ton of mine already. Why don't you jump back in?
All right. Let's see where I've. Okay, here. Total fumbles lost over 1.5. Now I put this in the Chiefs side for obvious reasons. Eagles have forced 8 fumbles and recovered 6 in the postseason so far on a nice heater here. I think they're going to be jarring the ball loose. So over 1.5 fumbles lost in the game is at plus 215. So a nice little play there. And I'm also.
Have you seen fumble versus interception? I like this angle as well, by the way. Have you seen fumble versus interception? Like
no.
What will happen first?
Oh no, that's always a fun one.
Fumble will be the dog.
Okay.
Are you interested? Would you play that, assuming the dog price?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I also have some. Mahomes will get an interception. Reed Blankenship to get an interception. So I got to kind of pick my spots.
Might have too much.
I'm expecting some turnovers
too
in
much.
this game. I'll also toss in Ryan, one of my favorite plays here. Kansas City Chiefs team total under.
Oh, wow.
24.5.
I'll be honest. I didn't see that one coming.
Ryan, how many times since the bye have the Eagles let up over 23 points since the bye week?
How many times since the bye week have they let up over 23?
Yeah.
So the Ravens was what, 24? 0.
Well, now you're making me think. No, I don't think the Ravens had 24. Where are you getting that number from?
My head.
Okay.
Head.
That's a fair source. Sometimes accurate, sometimes not.
Well, is it
they
accurate?
let up 19 against the Ravens.
Okay. Did they score 24?
Yeah, the Eagles scored 24.
I knew there was a 24 in that game.
The only time they let it up was that weird game against the Commanders where they let up 36 points. Hurts got knocked out. The Commanders had 5 turnovers. Kind of crazy. So 3 playoff. So the last time besides that Commanders game, you got to go back to the Tampa Bay Bucks back in September.
How many of those games were against Patrick Mahomes?
7.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what's the point of having any stats if the counter is, well, yeah, but how many times? When did they play Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah,
they didn't play Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
They played Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. during the regular season. That's a pretty decent test.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying it's not.
How many number one defenses did the Chiefs play this season?
I don't know. I'd have to go through the data.
0.
Well, the
Eagles are the number one.
Eagles weren't the number one defense the whole season. So if we'd be looking at point in time,
how many times did they play the season long number one defensive DVOA team?
They're playing them this week.
Okay.
Yeah. First time this week.
All right.
Yeah. So
good counter by me.
I did see some nerd who has created some opponent adjusted EPA metric published that the Eagles are the best in his metric overall.
All right.
Offense and defense.
Data is supporting the.
Sometimes you like the data, sometimes you don't.
Wax to Face in the chat says Kareem Hunt over 11.5 attempts. This one's interesting.
I'm getting weird vibes about Pacheco right now.
Well,
I'm getting at it. I got no running back positions. I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know that we're going to get to Vegas and we're going to tell Jeff Benson we'd like to bet on Carson Steele anytime touchdown 50-1, please. Is he going to be active?
That's also a question. No, he's usually on special teams, so I think he will be active.
Oh, that would be such a moment.
The Kareem Hunt versus Pacheco is kind of been interesting, right? Where it was like Pacheco was the guy, then they brought in Hunt, and they've slowly worked out Pacheco to the point where now it's like Kareem Hunt had 18 carries in the last game, or sorry, 17 in the game against Buffalo for 64. But before that, 8, 9, 11, 13, 5, 7. It's kind of been all over the place. There's two ways to look at it. One is, oh man, Kareem Hunt is clearly the guy. They don't like Pacheco. Yeah. He's not fully recovered from that injury. They're not going to use him in the game plan. Or the other is like, okay, they like Pacheco. They liked Hunt in that matchup. He's not going to have 17 carries again. Maybe 2 weeks of rest. Pacheco gets a little bit more pop. He sees some more snaps. He sees some more carries. I don't really have an opinion on the Hunt versus Pacheco in the running game. I'm staying out of it. But do you have a handle on it, Ryan?
I mean, I think with Andy, I mean, you watched Andy Reid for a long time. You just have he kind of shows you what he's going to do. Oh, he's giving Kareem Hunt a lot of carries. Why is that? Well, Hunt's feeling good right now. He trusts him right now.
He also can get hooked on the passing game where he doesn't run a ton. Like it, as when he was with the Eagles, it was always the biggest complaint was he would never stick to the running game.
And that could potentially be a story if the Chiefs end up losing.
Yeah.
Did they abandon the run? I think they know that though. And I think we've seen it. We saw it last week with Kareem Hunt. Like the commitment to the run, because that's the way the rest of the stuff works. And I think, who knows where they'd be if it was just Pacheco, because Kareem Hunt looks really good. I mean, that's the one revelation.
Yeah,
dude looks good.
He's looked
but
good.
That being said, I don't want to bet on the running back.
Kind of a goal line guy. I don't know. I'm not taking his.
They're not trying to get 20 yards a carry. They're trying to get like 4 yards.
Yeah,
in a cloud of dust or whatever.
Create some opportunities in the passing game. I will fade Kareem Hunt in the receiving game. Give me Kareem Hunt under 6.5 receiving yards. Oh. I just don't think he's that involved. I think there's a lot of other guys he wants to get going in the passing game besides Kareem Hunt. So I'm taking the under 6.5 receiving yards.
That's a great one.
Do you? What do you mean? That's a great one.
That was awesome. I was sniffing around Kareem Hunt first reception, just thinking about ways that Andy would tendency break. What would he do? Screen pass to Kareem Hunt is like all of a sudden just popping in my face early in this game.
Here's his game logs. 1 catch, 6 yards.
I know.
1 catch, 2 yards.
That's why he's a tendency breaker.
0 catch, 0 yards.
I went into this like, okay, who's not
2 for 24, 1 for 4.
Who's not doing
1
shit
for
right
13,
now?
2 catches for 0 yards. I think, but if you want to go tendency breaker, and then I know it's not. Yeah, I think Pacheco is the guy, or P. Ryan. Those are the guys he likes throwing to.
So last game,
he doesn't like throwing to Kareem Hunt.
Basically, some blend, a slightly blended 2-game view into the snap counts here.
Okay.
Kareem Hunt played 47% and then 58%. Pirine 22, then 15, Pacheco 31, then 29, and Carson Steele 6 and then 11. So he's getting some snaps. If you look at where the snaps are, it becomes very dominant around the red zone, even though Pacheco had some opportunities. And I do think getting Kareem Hunt a screen pass early, maybe it's one of those weird screens where they first look at Kelce and then come back to Hunt. It's classic Andy Reid cuteness.
I don't think so. There's so many other guys he'd rather get the ball to in the passing game.
I think you might be right, but I think he will be a master to the game plan. And if the game plan is, well, we have to work this misdirection shit early in the game to get the Eagles defensive line thinking about shit, slow them down a little bit. That it totally makes sense in terms of a schematical game plan.
He would give it to Pacheco or Pirine is my take.
I don't think Pacheco is any different in terms of pass game work than Kareem Hunt. And I know that and again, tendency breaker. Hunt's out there. It's not going to be a screen pass. Maybe we run the screen pass. After doing further analysis, I have no expectations for any of these running backs to do anything, but I could see, I do think the idea of them rocking some tendency breakers makes sense to me. Sorry. Don't like that one.
Oh, it's okay. You have the right to be wrong.
You want to talk about the punt god?
Sure. Matt Ariza, touchback.
Shout out Easy. Talked about this on the picks episode back on Sunday. If you missed that one, you should check it out.
He's on a crazy heater with these Pacheco Matt Ariza with the touchbacks. He's had last 3 games. He's had 4 games in a row. He's had a touchback plus 225 for the touchback. And he's had 5 touchbacks in the last 4 games.
So again, I'm playing. Sean's not, but I'm playing both punters. Man is 265. Ariza is 225. What both guys have been have been getting touchbacks. Why do you think this is priced like this?
Well, I was trying.
Is it just it's the Super Bowl? They'll be not trying to do that. They'll be more aggressive and they'll be 4th down attempts.
Well, it's interesting because my whole thought is, especially with the Eagles, they're going to be inclined to punt less because it's like, hey, we got to stay aggressive, stay on the field. We're going up against the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs can afford to be a little bit more conservative, and maybe not as aggressive. But the line doesn't show that. We talked about the total punts last episode. Total punts is still set at 6.5. So
feel it. I mean,
but that's like the standard default line. So the touchback price is not factoring in the total punts, right? So is there a dome angle that we're missing, Ryan, where without the wind, maybe it's easier without the outdoor elements, it's easier to get touchbacks? To me, maybe it's a little harder because it's there's nothing to slow it down.
My take,
I don't see one way or the other.
I'm not really sure why the price is what the price is. I can't. Maybe there's not a ton of action on this, but I would tend to think, especially for the Eagles. I mean, unless they're in a reasonable, down in distance, they're not going to go from. You think 4th and 10 from midfield? They're going for it. 4th and 10. Where is that point? Because I kind of think the opposite of you. I like there to be more punts in this game. I think if there aren't a lot of punts, it's because there's longer drives.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but I do think the defenses are going to have some wins.
Yeah, no, I'm right.
6.5 is a low number. I mean, I just think historically in my head, numbers being closer to 8.5, 9.5 when you have 2 good defenses going head to head. And even I think people are inferring that because it's the Super Bowl, both coaches will be more aggressive than less aggressive.
I think that's true
when it comes to some of these decisions. And I don't know if that's true.
I would say that's true for the Eagles. 100%.
I guess we'll find out. I would bet the over on the punts before the under, and I love the touchback.
I expect a more aggressive Sirianni would be my take. 100% for the amount of heat he caught punting to the Chiefs last time in Super Bowl 57, and him saying I learned a lot from Super Bowl 57. I think that's directly at punting. And coming to the Chiefs to record the most punts plus 165.
Oh. How many punts do you think they have then?
Yeah, no, I don't mind your over punts. If you want to say Chiefs, like I like the Chiefs individually to have over their punts. I just think the Eagles are going to be more aggressive for better or worse. So I think that's going to, I like them to have less punts at plus 165. Now, sir, tie in the number of punts is a push, which is something you got to factor in, but plus 165. And I have the Chiefs in my mind. The Chiefs should be favored here. Now you're getting plus odds there somewhat because tie is an option there. It's a 3-way market.
Oh, so, tie is an option.
Yeah. So
what's the tie price? Do you remember?
No, not off the top of my head, but I'm not betting punt tie.
Well, in a 3-way market, this a number like 160.
That's why you're getting plus 165.
Are they still the favorite option?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're the favorites. Or sorry, I think they should. They're the dog, meaning you're getting a better price. But I think they should be the favorite. So yeah, give me a team to record the most punts. Chiefs at plus 165.
Sneaky 3-way market. Team to score last wins the game. We discussed this.
Oh yeah, that's a. But you should do this. You should have saved this for the Eagles. Why didn't you use it in the Eagles episode, right?
Oh well, because in my simulations, the Eagles don't win the game, Sean. Team to score last wins the game, Sean. Here's a fun trivia, and by the way, the current price of this minus 180. This is one you want to definitely shop. There's some minus 225s out there. You don't want that. You want the minus 180. Sean, 15 Super Bowls.
Yes.
How many of those Super Bowls was the last team to score the winning team? 15 Super Bowl. The last 15 Super Bowls.
I mean, it feels like it would be at least 10-5.
15.
What?
15 and
and what are they pricing it at?
It under minus 200. We'll put it. We'll just say that. Okay. Minus 180.
Yeah, I might have to add this one as well and go back to the Eagles episode and toss that in because
again, paper ticket is going to be minus 180. Definitely different prices out there, but the fact that it's 15-0,
that is crazy. It really is.
15-0.
Yeah, because in the last 15 years, it's been somewhat competitive, but there's been some blowouts. Like that Seattle Denver game is in there, and that was
no backdoor.
Yeah.
I mean that's real. If you,
but
think
it was
about
like the front door because it was the winning team getting the last score.
Yeah, if you, well, that's what I'm saying. There was no backdoor. If you think about it, it really is sneakily difficult to have the losing team score last. If it's not just them on a last ditch, like we're up by 3 touchdowns, we can just relax on defense.
So what's the positive price? Because I can see maybe there's a world where the Eagles are up. The Eagles have ended. The Eagles are really good at long methodical drives that end the game that don't end in points. They are actually one of the teams that I could think could break this trend.
The part of what you're describing is a world where they were up 2 scores before that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's
or
part of
or maybe they're only maybe there's a 2 point in there, or maybe they're up 2 scores, something like that, and then they have a long methodical drive to ice the game like they did against the Steelers and the Ravens.
Will there be a safety, by the way? 10-1. I don't think we ever.
No, I don't want any part of that. But the price probably doesn't warrant kind of a historic outcome. And my whole thing is like, if I'm having a historic outcome, I want a historic price. So if the Chiefs are the first team to ever 3-pit in the NFL, you're witnessing history. If Jaden Daniels is going to be the first rookie quarterback to ever make it to a Super Bowl, I need to see a big juicy price. See what I did there, Ryan? I
do. Unrelated, but kind of what we're talking about. Will there be a lead change in the final minute? Yes is plus 600.
Yeah, I mean, you're just you're throwing darts there. I don't have any. Do you have any sort of angle or analysis on that?
No, I think that's probably probably not an interesting price. I'd assume there's better ways to bet on a close game.
I don't want money on that because God forbid the Eagles are on the other side of it. Patrick Mahomes is driving down Oh yeah, I get $600. Like, no, I don't. Fuck that.
Well, I mean, you could say that about most of your bets, I assume.
What do you mean?
Oh, just like in the moment of watching the game, you'll probably not give a shit about your prop not getting over if it means the Eagles win the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying.
All this is just some money's a
you're just moving pieces of
money's a human construct. The NFL is what I care about. I don't care about the fucking.
Yeah,
I could lose.
Well, you're on the team.
I could lose all my money if we get a parade.
Really?
That bounces.
You could lose all your money.
Yeah, I don't know. Figure it out.
Okay.
Sign up over at DraftKings Sportsbook, promo code SGP. Be back at my feet. Next thing you know, George Karlaftis under a quarter sack. He's getting stonewalled, baby. We got two of the best tackles in the league. No way he's getting home. Give me the under on Karlaftis, a quarter of sack. I think if there is going to be sacks, like Chris Jones is probably not the guy I'm fading. It might be something in the interior. What do you got? What do you got going over there, Ryan? You're.
I was just checking something.
Deep in some papers.
Well, I had a note here, and it didn't make the card.
Okay.
This year, but something we've played a lot over the years is more points in the second half and overtime. Versus
that was a classic. That number's
the price
moving,
this year is it makes it tough. It's -145.
Yeah.
It's almost I can't. I wanted to bring it up though because that used to be an auto play.
Well, and also it's weird because I feel like more points in the second. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Plus you get overtime, Sean.
Well, we're in a way we're playing it because we're playing no score in the first 6.5 minutes, which is would lead you to, which is a better way of playing that same scenario, right? In my mind, for the most part. Obviously, you could get hot in quarter number 2.
Yeah, which is more likely points wise.
All right, so we gave out. Oh wait, Ryan, do you have any more left?
I have one more.
What do you got?
Well, I mean, everyone's analyzing the officials and everyone's belly aching about which side they're going to pick and how the Chiefs get all the calls. Well, yeah, they do. Roughing the passer is called on the Eagles +170.
Oh, wow. Very specific market.
Shout out to the good folks in a faraway place down there, my bookie, who are offering taking $500 on this. Let's go. Come on. Think about how mad you'll be when I'm cashing my +170. There will be a roughing the passer penalty on the Eagles.
There's a scenario where I'm not mad. If
oh my God, there's something will get broken if they call a soft
if they call a soft roughing the passer. I will be mad.
Oh, you're calling for the penalty. I like this.
If Jalen Carter sends a message to Patrick Mahomes by lighting him the fuck up, and you have to deal with 15-yard penalty, I'm completely fine with that.
Wow.
If the Eagles commit a roughing the passer penalty, I want it to be worth it. That's my take. So it's not necessarily a given. I'll be upset.
Sounds like you're calling for injury.
No, not injury at all. Just a wake up call that, hey,
you got a bounty.
No, I'm not giving him any sort of money.
Vic Fangio is an Italian American.
Sean Payton is down in New Orleans, so I don't know. Whatever.
I do have a note. I was watching some videos on Eagles social media that Vic Fangio will be up for the special edition of the Italian American of the Week award for Super Bowl Sunday after the game, because during a Q&A on Eagles social media, he refused to disclose his meatball recipe.
Yeah, keeps it close to the vest.
I said, all right, I gotta start changing my opinion.
All of a sudden, you're a Fangio fan, right?
It's like, it's a fucking personal question. I also enjoyed how when he would read a card of a question he didn't like, he would just throw the card on the ground.
Seems like answer all the questions.
Seems like the social media intern was not allowed to ask twice.
Kramer, we got a question in the chat. Okay. Call Saul from Better Call Saul. What is your biggest position? Mine's gonna be Eagles money line. I want that to trump everything.
Really?
Yes, because that's spoiler alert. That's what I care about the most. That's what I'm. It's gonna be bigger than
first kickoff a touchback.
Yeah, I mean, you are talking me into it, so I'm.
I'm a degenerate.
So that bet will probably be higher than it should be, but maybe a close second. but really it's going to be Eagles money line for me. But Ryan, what about you? What would you say is your biggest position monetarily in this game?
It
doesn't seem like it's going to be the side from my conversations with you, but correct me if I'm wrong.
I took the money line from last week along with some other stuff.
Yep.
And so I have a normal Super Bowl side bet on the Chiefs.
Okay. I
have the Mahomes rush attempts will be a very heavy position for me. I would say, I think I'm debating how much I want to put on team to score last wins the game. It doesn't seem like that one I'm not heavily invested in yet. And I think the kickoff no touchback. I think that's going to be a pretty strong position.
Well, no one, again, I listened to a bunch of content in the gambling space. No one has been talking about this prop, which is great, but no one has been talking about the rule change and how it's been. The whole thing was, hey, we want more kickoff returns. We've adjusted the rules. We've changed the landing zone. It feels like it's priced the same as it was last year.
The whole premise of most of these long shot bets is you're attacking variance. Yeah, this is the strangest mispricing to me.
Right,
but
we played it last year. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was in the mid 200s. Wasn't it? How is it not changed?
I don't recall what it was. Probably you're right. I just think any way you handicap football, you're saying, well, there's certainly. I mean, what's the probability at plus 260? I mean, they're essentially saying this is going to be like a 25% situation. No, thank you. So, what are you looking it up?
I was trying to track it down, to see what it was, because off the top of my head, it feels pretty similar, and I think there might even be some higher ones out there. So we will definitely be shopping around. I see in the chat. What do we got here? Oh, this is go Beavs. Chiefs money line. Sean Strickland by decision. Zhang Welly by decision. Plus 2474. Yeah, good reminder. Check out the MMA Gambling Podcast. Those guys have been on a heater. Probably some good times to get in on some cross sports props as well. John in the chat likes Juju 2 catches. Yeah, I would Juju getting the 2 catches I think is pretty reasonable. And as well with Noah. I'm on the fence.
I'm looking at some. Yeah, so I'm also going to be pretty heavy on no score for 6.5 minutes. I'm going to have a lot of early game action again. I think I just enjoyed the Super Bowl so much last year when I knew minutes into the game that I was going to have a good Super Bowl.
Kramer's just looking for a result in the first 10 seconds. That's what it is.
Yeah, kind of.
And it will be fun because it's the fucking Super Bowl, baby. Hey, get in on the Super Bowl Squares. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/squares. We already hit 100 people signed up for the first one. We're giving away $1,000. If we can get to 200 locked in, then we will unleash the second squares. But that's up to you guys. I would sign up for a free Super Bowl Squares where the winner gets $1,000. That's me. Yeah. So I'm.
Do you want an updated number?
No, I don't.
Because there won't be a third.
No.
So we might. Do you want to put some time urgency on it?
Yeah. If you guys don't get it by the time we leave for the Visa,
no, show, I mean, like, if I put this number out, I think it might make people realize that this.
Oh,
is
okay. Yeah, quickly. Sure.
125.
Okay. So by the time, if you're listening to this after the fact and you're not listening live, your window is getting smaller and smaller. What? It's literally free. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/squares. Get in on the big game discount for the merch. Got the SGP hats, the DGen hats, the hoodies. Appreciate everyone loading up there. Get the promo while it lasts because we're closing it out when the big game happens. And of course, edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Get the cashback rewards. What are you waiting for? And of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Plus 170. They call roughing the passer on the Eagles. Come on.
Kramer, let it ride.